Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Broncos country, buckle up, because we are about to blow the lid off the biggest secret hiding in plain sight inside Denver's training facility. 7 rookies. 1 roster. And by the time training camp opens this month, at least one of these fresh faces is going to be the difference between a playoff run and a heartbreaking Sunday collapse. Somebody on this list is going to win you football games this season. Somebody else is going to sit so deep on the bench he might need a GPS to find the field. And one guy has an NCAA record for making grown men fumble the football like it's covered in butter. Stick around, because we are counting down the Broncos rookie class from the guy who might not play a single snap all the way up to the one who's being compared straight up to an NFL superstar running back. This is the Rookie Impact Countdown, and trust me, you do not want to miss the ending. Let's start at the bottom, because even here, there's a twist. Coming in at number 7 is offensive lineman Cage Casey. And before you roll your eyes and scroll away, hear this out, because this is not a story about a bad player. This is a story about a guy who might be too good for his own good right now. See, the Denver Broncos were just crowned the number 1 offensive line in the entire National Football League. That's not a typo. Number 1 out of 32 teams. Which means the starting 5 in front of quarterback Bo Nix are already locked, loaded, and battle-tested. Garrett Bowles, Ben Powers, Quinn Miners, Alex Palchevsky, Mike McGlinchey. These names aren't just placeholders, they're a wall. And Cage Casey, as talented as he is going to be doing a whole lot of watching from the sideline in year 1. But here's the twist that should have Broncos fans buzzing. This kid allowed a pressure rate of just over 2% last season, the best mark of any left tackle in the entire Mountain West Conference. 0 penalties. 0 pressures allowed on a per-game basis. That's not a stat line, that's a warning shot. Drafted in the 4th round, Cage Casey looks like an absolute steal. A classic draft and stash prospect who the coaching staff is going to move around like a chess piece, testing him at tackle, sliding him inside to guard, maybe even sneaking him in at center just to see what sticks. Rumor has it the smart money says he eventually pushes his way into that left guard spot currently held down by Ben Powers. And if his tape from tackle translates even remotely to the interior, Denver might have found their next building block for the next decade. He just won't be the guy delivering the fireworks this season. Think of him as the sleeper agent quietly being trained for a much bigger mission down the road. Now let's move to the tight end room. Because Denver didn't just draft 1 intriguing rookie at this position, they drafted 2, and the internet cannot stop talking about their hands. At number 6, we've got Justin Jolie out of North Carolina State. And get this, according to Pro Football Network, Jolie has some of the most elite hands in the entire 2026 tight end class. Mentioned in the same breath as top names like Kenyon Sadiq and Alex Stearns, that is not a small compliment. But here's the catch. Jolie is walking into a room where veteran Evan Ingram is firmly entrenched as the guy, and there's no dethroning a starter that quickly. So don't expect Jolie to be racking up huge snap counts in year 1. Instead, picture him as Denver's secret weapon in 5 wide sets and red zone situational packages, a specialist brought in to make a handful of high-leverage plays rather than log heavy minutes. His route running at the top of the stem is already dangerous, even if his release off the line still needs polish. But whisper it quietly, because there's a real chance that Justin Jolie is being groomed right now to be the long-term heir apparent at tight end once Evan Ingram's time in Denver eventually comes to a close. Right behind him at number 5 sits the other half of that dynamic tight end duo, Don Bentley. And if Jolie is the specialist, Bentley is the Swiss Army knife. This kid tested off the charts athletically, posting a relative athletic score that put him in truly elite company, and last season between him and Jolie, The two combined for a grand total of 2 dropped passes all year. 2 for an entire season. That kind of reliability doesn't go unnoticed by a coaching staff building something serious. Bentley's calling card is his versatility. He can line up in the slot, he can play in line as a traditional Y tight end, and reports out of his final college season and an eye-opening performance at the Shrine Bowl suggest he was one of the standout risers of the entire pre-draft process. Expect Bentley to see more snaps than Jolie simply because his skill set fits better into heavier personnel packages. The kind of 12 and 13 personnel groupings Denver loves to lean on in the red zone. 2 tight ends, 2 sets of elite hands, and a coaching staff that clearly prioritized this position group in the draft. Keep an eye on both of these names because tight end might quietly be the most loaded room on the entire roster. Switching over to the defensive side of the ball, number 4 on our list is safety Miles Scott out of Illinois, and this is where things get spicy. Because Scott is stepping directly into the shoes of a player Broncos fans know all too well. Think of him as the direct replacement for the backup safety role that saw real snaps last season due to injury. That means Scott isn't destined for the bench, he's destined for the field, potentially picking up somewhere in the range of 5 to 10 snaps a game once you factor in special teams duties and defensive rotation. What makes Scott so intriguing is his background. This is a former wide receiver who converted to safety, which means he sees the game from both sides of the football, reading route concepts like a receiver while covering them like a defensive back. The tape backs it up too. 64 tackles, 4 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and an eye-popping overall grade last season that had him wearing the captain's patch for his college defense. He's raw, sure, there's technique to clean up, but the upside is undeniable. And there's a very real chance Broncos country sees this kid rip off an interception or 2 before the season is through. Now we're entering the top 3, and things are about to get dramatic. At number 3, defensive tackle Tyler Onyebouli, Denver's very first selection of the entire 2026 draft, taken in the 3rd round, and a player who is walking straight into one of the most crowded, most competitive position rooms on the roster. Zach Allen, DJ Jones, Malcolm Roach, John Franklin Myers, Saivion Jones. This defensive line rotation is stacked, and the coaching staff led by Vance Joseph and Sean Payton is clearly trying to figure out who among this group takes the leap into a bigger role. Onyebouli was drafted precisely because of his rare versatility. Capable of lining up anywhere from a 1 technique to a 5 technique, an athletic marvel who tested off the charts and posted a nearly 9% tackle for loss rate against the run in college. That's his superpower. Stopping the run cold. Expect him to rotate behind DJ Jones at the nose, behind Zach Allen and Malcolm Roach on the edge of the interior, even sliding into 5-man fronts when the situation calls for it. He might not have one defined role, but that's exactly the point. He's the ultimate chess piece for a defensive coordinator who loves multiplicity. Which brings us to number 2, and honestly, this might be the most electrifying player on the entire roster, rookie or otherwise. Linebacker Reed Murdoch. And if you love old-school, gap-shooting, bone-rattling linebacker play, this is the guy who is about to make you fall in love with Broncos football all over again. There's a mentality to how Murdoch plays the game, a heaviness, a physicality that harkens back to the legends of the position. The kind of player who doesn't just tackle you, he wants to find out who wants it more. He's a plus striker with his hands, a dominant force at the point of contact, and he has openly called himself the quarterback of the defense, a title he backs up with elite instincts and processing speed. But here's the headline-grabbing stat that should have every Broncos fan sitting up straight in their chair. Reed Murdoch is the NCAA record holder for forced fumbles in a career. The record holder. That's not hype, that's history. Now, he's not a finished product. His closing speed in space needs refinement, and he can get exposed on play action or in pass coverage when he bites too hard. But make no mistake, this is a workable starter in the making, And there's a legitimate scenario whereby around week 8 of the season, Murdoch is lining up in real, meaningful defensive snaps alongside Alex Singleton and Justin Strnad, ripping the football out of running backs' hands and making Broncos country lose their minds on every single snap. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Number 1 on the Rookie Impact Countdown. The player who isn't just going to see the field, he's going to win you football games. Running back Jonah Coleman. This kid is a problem, and I mean that in the best possible way. Coleman is the definition of a creative playmaker, a bruising, elusive ball carrier who somehow gets better the moment the play breaks down. His ability to bounce off tackles, shed contact, and manufacture yardage out of absolutely nothing was, statistically, the best of any running back in his entire draft class. Let that sink in. First down or touchdown on 35% of his carries, the best mark in his class. 71% of his rushing yards coming after contact, again the best in his class. Over 12 yards after the catch as a receiver, first in his class once more. And to put the cherry on top, across his entire college career, this kid fumbled the football exactly one time and dropped exactly one pass. One in an entire career. Oh, and he's an outstanding pass blocker too, which in today's NFL might be the single most underrated trait a young running back can bring to the table. The comparisons being thrown around are not small ones either, with insiders drawing a direct line between Coleman's game and a bruising, versatile NFL veteran back who Sean Payton himself has coached before. Denver didn't just draft a running back to sit and learn behind a starter. They drafted a running back who is being groomed to eventually take over the entire backfield, and if the tape is any indication, that transition might happen a whole lot sooner than anyone expects. This isn't a guy who's going to flash for a few snaps here and there. Jonah Coleman is going to be the difference maker. He's the one who could single-handedly swing a game, maybe two, in Denver's favor this season, and that is exactly why he tops this list. So there you have it. Broncos country, 7 rookies, 7 wildly different paths, and 1 absolutely stacked rookie class that has fans dreaming big heading into training camp. From a sleeper offensive lineman being secretly groomed for the future, to a pair of tight ends with some of the softest hands in college football, to a hard-hitting linebacker with an NCAA record to his name, and finally a running back who might just be the missing piece to a championship puzzle, this rookie class has a little bit of everything. Training camp is right around the corner, and once these guys are finally hitting the field in pads, we are going to find out exactly how much of this hype is real. Now it's your turn. Which one of these rookies do you think ends up making the biggest splash this season? Are you buying the hype on Jonah Coleman, or is Murdoch the real headline maker of this class? Drop your predictions in the comments below because we want to hear from you, Broncos country. And if you enjoyed breaking down this rookie class with us, do not forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you never miss another Broncos breakdown, and turn on those notifications because training camp coverage is coming, and you do not want to miss a single update. Until next time, Broncos country, this has been Broncos, and we will see you in the next one.
Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.